Jealousy is a very interesting quality because jealousy is something that most people in this world have. Yoga explains that that is the reason we are here in this material world. So, the three fundamental principles or characteristics of jealousy we'll discuss, and then we'll give you 5 steps on how to overcome jealousy. This yoga text very beautifully explains this phenomenon. Jealousy comes from a feeling inside of you that is inadequate. You feel that there is something missing in your life. Maybe you don't have enough material wealth. Maybe you're not beautiful enough. Maybe you're not handsome enough. So, some lacking that we feel within ourselves, it has everything to do with your self-worth. So, when you have something within yourself that you feel is limited, then what we do is we tend to compare ourselves with others. This is level 2. Second reason why, what happens in jealousy. Then you start comparing. Arjuna looks more handsome than me. Bodwa is a better artist than me. Michelle is more peaceful than me. Yiva has more hair than me. Anna has a better smile than me. So in this way, we get into this world of comparison. And this does not end. This comparison is a continuous part of our life. Even if someone has, a different, better clothing or better, t-shirt or better hair, we start to compare. And the third stage, what happens in this jealousy is that it is all connected to everything that is external. It has nothing to do. You never feel jealous if someone has, they're more loving than you. You don't feel jealous about that. We just exclaim, oh, they're so loving. So everything that is outwards. So when we look at the world with our 5 senses, when we see with our hands, when we see with our ears, when we see with our nose, when we see with our mouth, when we see with our eyes, then we find jealousy that comes into our lives because the heart has no jealousy. So it is strictly dealing with any external elements, external objects of the senses. So that means it is not centered in your life. It's the senses are up top. Center is your heart. So when we are not centered, then we experience this jealousy. And this jealousy becomes stronger and turns into envy. And they are very interchangeably interdependent. Sometimes it's almost the same. Envy is a deeper manifestation of jealousy. So therefore, we have to understand that we can never think that it is such a simple, easy quality to overcome because we don't need to overcome. We have to just learn the simple art of seeing what it is. So jealousy and envy, when we are free from this, that means we have reached enlightenment. So therefore, it is a process for us to work through this quality of jealousy and envy. It is not something that we should get so bent out of shape. We are so jealous. It's just part of having a material existence. So now I will give you 5 very, very simple steps on how to address this quality of jealousy and envy. So the first step of dealing with jealousy and envy is acceptance. That we accept we have a little bit of jealousy and envy for others. Sometimes this is actually very, very, very subtle. When we advance in spiritual life, when someone becomes spiritually more advanced than us, then we still wish that we were better than them. So the first step in dealing with jealousy and envy is that we accept that we have this this tendency, this quality to an extent, because jealousy and envy is all pervasive. It is not just I'm jealous of Yiva's hair because he has more hair than me. What about all the other aspects of life? I will be comparing myself, Michelle's calm and peacefulness, Bodwa's such a great artist. In this way, this comparison will go on, and that is due to jealousy. So the second step in dealing with jealousy, after acceptance, that we understand that this quality I have, this emotion I have to redirect that emotion. Because we are jealous about others and other things. So instead of going outwards, we go inwards. So we redirect, and we redirect by going inwards, not outwards. I don't start treating Arjuna bad because Arjuna is more handsome than me. So we take this journey inwards. And when we go inwards, we will find our value. And when you find your value within yourself, then you have found love. You have found your true self because you're the embodiment of spiritual love. And when you find that true love, then there's no more comparisons. So true unconditional spiritual love is who we are. So then there is no more envy and jealousy in the world. So just quickly to recap, jealousy, I give you 3 steps on how jealousy progresses. Step 1 is realizing that something is wrong with you, something is missing, something is short, something is limited. Second step is because of the first step, you start to compare yourself with others. And it is also centered around everything that is outwards. And then the 5 steps, first is acceptance. Acceptance means an acknowledgement that I have jealousy and envy. Could be very subtle as well. So what we do is we redirect it and go inwards. And when we go inwards, we see our value. And then we find our true spiritual love within ourselves. So acceptance, redirection, inward journey, finding value, and love. There's 5 steps to dealing with jealousy. So I'll give you three steps on how to, 3 additional steps I'm going to give you. So, because you're right, that jealousy and envy is actually a very, very dark spiral stairs that take you down into the dungeons of darkness. There's millions of deaths in the United States and around the world that people kill because of jealousy. It's a very, very dangerous quality. Because jealousy is everything to do with the outside world, is outward. And we are all, unfortunately, connected to the outer world. And so therefore, it becomes an obsession. Because there's something missing in your life, so you're obsessed about someone else's life. We have to keep this in mind, Kathleen, that in relationships, I don't know if I had mentioned in this class, that the more we are not situated in the heart, someone else will come and take that place. It's very important. And if you don't stay in your heart, someone else comes and sits in your heart, you better be careful, because they're going to make a mess. And they're going to make a mess because you did not give them permission to come into your house. And then when they leave a mess in your heart and they leave, you become obsessed with why did they make a mess? You try to understand and scrutinize and analyze through your mind. And that analysis becomes paralysis. And that's when you become completely mad and you want to kill people, you want to hurt people, and you don't feel that you can do that, then you start to take heavy drugs. So it's a very, very, very dangerous quality to let it linger into our lives without us, systematically addressing it. So if you stay in your heart, there is no jealousy. Yeah, if you want to know what is the perfect diamond, the most expensive diamond in the world, we need training and we need time. We have to go to school and spend 4 or 5 years to understand how to find the right diamond. Sometimes people may take longer, full of life to understand the value. So the way to find value in oneself, because we are divine spiritual beings. So you have to cultivate divine practices and divine senses to find your divine spiritual value. If you try to value you with your mind and your senses and your intelligence, you're not going to be able to find the value of the self. So we have to practice our sadhana. And through the practice of sadhana, we'll start to see our true essential value. And through the Sangha, where your teachers, where your peers, they're able to see your spiritual value and they present it to you. Why do we go to gurus? We go to gurus to find our value because they see us not with the material lens, the divine lens of the heart. That is why we go to teachers. That is why we have this Sangha. Every day I get to tell you how valuable you are. But only thing that happens is sometimes people may think, you know, when I tell you how valuable you are, maybe it'll be hard for you to believe your value. Because so far everybody in the world has valued you based on your looks, your money, your name, your fame. It is very, very, very important to find one's spiritual value.
You see,